The uncomfortable truth, the cost of financial ignorance. You can work hard your entire life and still end up broke. How often do you stop and ask yourself, am I building wealth or just barely getting by? Jim Rohn, one of the greatest thinkers on personal and financial development, reminds us that financial failure is rarely about bad luck. More often than not, it's the direct result of poor decisions and careless habits. This video is an invitation to face a truth many avoid. The way you handle money can define decades of your life, for better or worse. Let's uncover the financial lie that may be sabotaging your youth and learn how to change course before it's too late. Why this financial lie can make or break your life. Money is one of the most powerful forces shaping our lives, yet so many of us enter adulthood completely unprepared to manage it. The financial lies we believe in our 20s don't just cost us money, they cost us time, freedom, and the future we dream of. It's not just about making ends meet, it's about whether you'll thrive or struggle for decades to come. Here's the harsh reality. According to a recent study, over 60% of millennials regret their early financial decisions, citing overspending, debt accumulation, and lack of savings as their biggest mistakes. These choices don't just disappear, they compound over time, creating a snowball effect that can lead to stress, missed opportunities, and even financial ruin. But here's the good news. Understanding the truth about money can set you free. The habits and beliefs you build today can create a foundation for lasting financial success. By the end of this video, you'll uncover the financial lie that has the power to destroy your 20s and learn how to replace it with the mindset and strategies that can transform your life. This isn't just about money, it's about reclaiming control over your future. Ignorance is not bliss, it's the foundation of failure. One of the most destructive mental patterns when it comes to finances is the belief that there's always time to figure it out later. This mindset, the procrastination of financial responsibility, is a silent thief, robbing people of their freedom, opportunities, and peace of mind. It's not a sudden disaster, but a slow, creeping erosion of potential. This negative pattern often manifests in subtle ways in daily life. It's the decision to spend a little more on things you don't need, thinking, I'll save next month. It's ignoring the growing credit card balance because I'll pay it off when I start earning more. It's avoiding learning about investments because that's something I'll focus on when I'm older. These small, seemingly harmless decisions stack up over time, creating a mountain of financial stress that feels insurmountable. Jim Rohn famously said, "Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment." But for many, the lack of discipline in financial habits creates a chasm instead, a gap between where they are and where they want to be. Without discipline, people fall into a cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, relying on debt to maintain a lifestyle they can't afford, and constantly feeling like they're one emergency away from disaster. Think of it like planting seeds. If you neglect to plant seeds in your 20s, you can't expect a harvest in your 30s or 40s. Yet so many people spend their formative years focused on instant gratification, unaware that they're sacrificing their future stability and success. This mindset is particularly dangerous because it feels comfortable in the moment. Spending money on things you don't need, avoiding the discomfort of budgeting, or delaying the effort to learn about financial growth feels easier and more enjoyable than confronting the reality of your financial situation. But as Jim Rohn also said, we must all suffer one of two things, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The truth is, this pattern isn't just about money, it's about control. When you allow financial ignorance and procrastination to dictate your choices, you're giving up control over your life. You're letting external circumstances, debt, and poor habits decide your future. The first step to breaking free from this destructive cycle is recognizing it. Acknowledge how these small, daily decisions are holding you back. Understand that every dollar you spend, every financial decision you make, is either moving you closer to freedom or further into chains. In the next section, we'll uncover the financial lie that fuels this mindset and explore how to replace it with a new, empowering approach. Because the truth is, your 20s aren't just a time to survive. They're the foundation for everything you want to achieve. You wake up, check your phone, scrolls, and stay poor. The root of this destructive financial mindset runs deep, hidden beneath layers of culture, fear, and ingrained habits. It's not just about ignorance, It's about the stories we're told, the fears we internalize, and the routines we unconsciously follow. These forces shape the way we think about money, often without us even realizing it. Culturally, many of us grow up in environments that glorify consumption over creation. Advertisements flood our screens with promises of happiness tied to the latest gadgets, clothes, or experiences. Social media amplifies this, turning comparison into a daily ritual. You see influencers with luxury cars, exotic vacations, and designer wardrobes, and it plants a dangerous idea in your mind. I need to keep up. This leads to overspending, credit card debt, and a lifestyle that's funded by insecurity rather than stability. Fear also plays a significant role. For many, money is a source of anxiety rather than empowerment. The fear of looking at your bank account, the fear of making the wrong investment, or even the fear of admitting you don't know enough about finances can keep you stuck in a cycle of avoidance. Instead of confronting these fears, it's easier to distract yourself with short-term pleasures. A night out, an online shopping spree, or a subscription you don't even use. Then there are the habits. Picture this: you wake up, grab your phone, and start scrolling through social media. You see someone posting about their new car or their vacation to Bali. You feel a pang of envy, so you decide to treat yourself to a fancy coffee or a new gadget. It's a small decision, but it's part of a larger pattern. Day after day, these habits reinforce the lie that spending equals happiness, and that saving or investing can wait. Take Sarah, for example. She's 26, works a decent-paying job, and spends her mornings scrolling through Instagram. She tells herself she'll start saving once she earns more, but her current habits tell a different story. Every weekend, she's out with friends, spending $100 here, $200 there. She subscribes to streaming services she barely uses, and buys clothes she doesn't need because they were on sale. At the end of the month, her paycheck is gone and she's left wondering why she can't seem to get ahead. The invisible root of Sarah's problem, and so many others, is the belief that money is something to be spent, not managed. It's the cultural pressure to live your best life now, the fear of missing out, and the habit of avoiding responsibility in favor of instant gratification. Here's the painful micro-insight. Every dollar you waste today isn't just gone, it's stealing from your future. The $5 coffee you buy every morning could be $50,000 in 20 years if invested wisely. The $200 night out could be the emergency fund that saves you from debt. If you don't address the root of this mindset, you'll stay stuck. The habits you build now will define your financial future. The question is, are you building a foundation for freedom or a trap you'll struggle to escape? Winners think like this. Every dollar is a seed, and every seed has the potential to grow a forest. The key to breaking free from the destructive financial mindset isn't just about saving more or spending less. It's about completely transforming the way you think about money. Winners don't see money as something to be spent impulsively or hoarded out of fear. They see it as a tool, a resource that, when used wisely, can create opportunities, freedom, and security. The shift begins with this realization. Money isn't something you work for, it's something that can work for you. Most people spend their entire lives trading time for money, believing that the only way to get ahead is to work harder or longer. But winners know that money, when managed properly, can generate more money. They focus on building assets, investments, skills, and businesses that grow over time rather than liabilities that drain their resources. Imagine this scenario. Instead of waking up and scrolling through social media, you wake up and check your budget. You see that you've set aside $200 this month to invest in your future. You feel a sense of pride and control because you know that money isn't just sitting there, it's growing. You start to see every financial decision through this new lens. That $5 coffee? It's not just coffee anymore, it's $50 in lost potential growth over the next 10 years. Suddenly your priorities shift, and so do your habits. This mental shift changes your behavior automatically. When you start to think of money as a seed, you naturally become more intentional about where you plant it. You stop spending mindlessly on things that bring fleeting happiness and start focusing on what brings long-term value. You begin to prioritize learning, reading books, taking courses, or seeking mentors, because you understand that knowledge compounds just like money. Winners also embrace delayed gratification. They know that sacrificing a little comfort today can lead to massive rewards tomorrow. It's not about deprivation, it's about empowerment. When you say no to unnecessary expenses, you're not losing out. You're taking control of your future. Take the story of John, for example. In his 20s, John was like most people, living paycheck to paycheck, spending on things he didn't need, and avoiding the discomfort of financial planning. But one day, he decided to shift his mindset. He started thinking of every dollar as an employee, something that could work for him if he gave it the right job. He began investing small amounts in index funds, cutting back on unnecessary expenses, and focusing on building his skills. By his 30s, John had built a portfolio that provided him with financial security and the freedom to pursue his passions. Here's the powerful truth. You don't need to be rich to start thinking like a winner, but you need to think like a winner to become rich. As Jim Rohn said, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines, practiced every day. When you adopt this new way of thinking, you'll find that discipline becomes easier, decisions become clearer, and your financial future becomes brighter. Winners plant seeds today so they can sit in the shade of their forests tomorrow. The question is, are you ready to start planting? Say no, walk away, invest it. Now that you've embraced the mindset of winners, seeing every dollar as a seed and every decision as an investment in your future, it's time to put it into action. Changing your financial habits doesn't require perfection, but it does require consistency. Small intentional steps can completely transform your relationship with money and set you on the path to financial freedom. Here's how you can apply this new mindset in your daily life. 1. Create a money plan. Every dollar has a job. Start by giving every dollar you earn a purpose. This is called zero-based budgeting, and it's a game changer. Look at your income and decide exactly where it's going. Savings, investments, bills, and even fun. Winners don't let money sit around waiting to be spent impulsively. They direct it with intention. For example, let's say you earn $3,000 a month. Allocate $500 to savings, $300 to investments, $1,500 to essentials like rent and groceries, and $200 to guilt-free spending. When you assign every dollar a job, you take control of your finances instead of letting them control you. Action. Sit down this weekend, write out your income, and assign every dollar a purpose. Stick to this plan, and you'll feel a sense of clarity and confidence almost immediately. 2. Master the power of no. The next time you're tempted to buy something you don't need, pause. Ask yourself, does this align with my goals? Is this a seed I want to plant? Winners know that saying no to small, unnecessary expenses today creates space for bigger opportunities tomorrow. For instance, you're out shopping, and you see a $50 shirt that catches your eye. Instead of buying it, think about how that $50 could grow if invested. Over 10 years, that $50 could turn into $100 or more. The shirt will fade, but the investment will grow. Action. Practice saying no this week. Whether it's a coffee run, a sale, or a night out you don't really want, walk away. Take that money and transfer it to your savings or investment account instead. 3. Automate your wealth-building. Winners don't rely on willpower alone. They set systems in place that make success inevitable. Automate your savings and investments so you don't have to think about it. Set up a direct deposit that sends a portion of your paycheck to a high-yield savings account or investment portfolio. For example, if you save just $200 a month starting in your 20s and invest it in an index fund with an average return of 8%, you could have over $60,000 in 15 years. That's the power of consistency and automation. Action. Log into your bank account or speak with your employer to set up automatic transfers today. Even if it's just $50 a month, start small and let it grow. This is where freedom starts. Every time you make a decision to save, invest, or say no to unnecessary spending, remind yourself, this is freedom. You're not depriving yourself, you're empowering yourself. With every dollar you direct toward your future, you're building the life you've always dreamed of, one where money doesn't control you, stress doesn't overwhelm you, and opportunities are always within reach. Say no, walk away, invest it. This is where freedom starts. What you do today determines the life you live tomorrow. Are you ready to face yourself? Let's take a moment to pause, reflect, and dig deeper into the way you think and act around money. To truly change, you must first understand what's holding you back and what you're striving for. Only you can answer these questions. But you must. Questions to challenge your thinking. What is the one financial habit you know is hurting you the most? And why haven't you changed it yet? Be honest. Is it overspending, avoiding budgets, or relying on debt? What's stopping you from taking control? When you think about your future, what scares you the most, and what excites you the most? Fear and excitement often point to what matters most. Are you letting fear dictate your actions? Or are you pursuing your dreams despite it? If you were to look at your bank account as a reflection of your priorities, what would it say about you? Does your spending align with the life you want to build? Or does it reflect distractions and short-term gratification? What would your life look like in 10 years if you started making better financial decisions today? Picture it vividly. The freedom, the opportunities, the peace of mind. Is that life worth the effort? What's the one thing you've been avoiding when it comes to money? And how would it feel to finally face it? Whether it's creating a budget, paying off debt, or learning to invest, ask yourself, what's the cost of avoiding this any longer? Exercise. A letter to your future self. Take 5 minutes to write a one-page letter to your future self. Imagine it's 10 years from now, and you've achieved financial freedom. Describe the life you're living, the opportunities you've created, and how it feels to be in control. Then, write a few sentences about the decisions you made today to get there. The answers are within you. The future is in your hands. What will you choose? Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Jim Rohn. The journey to financial freedom, or any kind of success, isn't about massive leaps or impossible sacrifices. It's about the small, consistent actions you choose to take, day after day. It's saying no to the distractions, yes to your priorities, and trusting that every disciplined step forward is building the future you deserve. But it all starts with your mindset. The thoughts you allow to shape your decisions today will become the foundation of your reality tomorrow. Are you nurturing thoughts of growth, discipline, and possibility? Or are you letting fear, doubt, or short-term gratification hold you back? Take a moment to reflect. What thought are you letting control your future? Leave it in the comments, or just write it down for yourself. Sometimes simply naming what's holding you back is the first step to letting it go. Remember, transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. One decision at a time, one habit at a time, one thought at a time. You're capable of so much more than you realize. Start today, start small, start now. The future is waiting for you to create it.